Jordan.
How did you start your podcast with Alain de Botton?
What did I do? I said to him, when you sent me your number, which was really surreal, I put it in my phone and it changed, my auto-corrected your name to Alan the Bottom.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Is he?
I mean, out of the two, yeah, I'd say so.
Do you reckon?
I think he might be a power bottom. He's got big, powerful...
Bottom energy.
Bottom energy, yeah. So, yeah, I just thought it was a great drag name.
Alan the Bottom.
Alan
brilliant, actually.
the Bottom. If you imagine that on Drag Race...
That's really good. It's quite niche.
The only thing that was off the table was his life.
So he's just philosophising.
He'll talk about my life. He was like, I talk about anything except my life. Which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and I think he keeps it kind of sacred. Actually, we spoke off air and we've become friends. And he's...
That's really interesting.
And he keeps his life out of it because I think he appreciates that kind of privacy. But also, he knows what's healthy for him. Like I know what's healthy for me. And I know that this isn't wildly healthy for me doing this with you now. I don't know where you are in your life, but I'm like in like a recovery period. Like I was fucked like a couple of years ago where I was like very depressed, suicide attempt, mental health hospital for a little bit, and I've been building from there. So I kind of feel like I'm in recovery.
Where was mental health hospital?
It was in like Worthing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend in Worthing.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, good times. Not the mental hospital.
No.
What was I saying?
You were saying that it's not healthy for you doing these podcasts.
It's not healthy. It's just even gigs, like whatever it is. Like I got better by making my life as peaceful as possible. And you know how like being in front of cameras and being on stage ignites that like excitement, adrenaline thing.
Mm.
I'm just trying to meditate, do the washing up, be peaceful, get in nature.
It's really interesting having that feeling of connection to somebody who hasn't revealed themselves.
Yeah. It's very nice actually because we've had private conversations, quite a lot of private conversations, where I have learnt about his life and learnt about his own neuroses and his own stuff. But you realise when he says it, you're like, oh, you're right. You never reveal that. You put yourself in a very much in a kind of teacher position.
It's interesting. I feel like I'm the opposite.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm an oversharer, man. Actually, this is funny. Let me show you. Let me play this. So on the podcast, he I don't know if let me find it quick. I don't know if it's even a podcast, by the way. It's just us chatting. I don't have any ambitions for it to be a podcast, but we'll see.
Interesting.
The word hello in the podcast, when he says hello, it distorted. So I asked him to send a voice note with hello on it.
Yeah.
And he sent me this, and now this is my alarm clock.
Nothing is too much. Let's try it here. Less echoey. Hello. Hello. Hello.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny. Made me laugh.
Yeah, he's got a soothing voice. You do too, actually. Probably get a few people to sleep.
I've sent some people to sleep before, don't worry about that.
But yeah, that's interesting, man.
But he's a super interesting dude. I've got a personal interest in like masculinity and mental health and young men and how part of it's like how I got to that point in myself, but also like how so many young men get to that position, how they fall into that moment, because it's incredibly common. And then I saw you, obviously I'm aware of your like position in culture, and then I saw you do like on the red carpet saying about Giselle Pellico, and I was just so moved by that, and I was like, yeah man, I'd like to talk to him, you know, because that's fucking dope. It's really cool.
Well, yeah, credit to Gina Martin really, but
what's interesting to me is like how shocking it is for a man to big up an old lady.
Yeah, I do think I think that's a recognised issue. I think that one of the comments I hear a lot is like that I should be more vocal. People, especially women, wish that I'd be more vocal because their respective like sons or husbands or whatever would listen to me, inferring, you know, like a man's voice saying the same thing women have been saying might be more impactful, when actually, I mean, I only know the stuff I know as a result, I'd say mostly from women.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if men just listened to women. Not all women, but there's a lot of women who are talking like incredibly insightful, philosophical, spiritual, analytical.
Yeah.
You know, like they're relaying information and guidance, often with more perspective. But I do think there's an issue around why we train boys and men to like only listen to other men.
Yeah, there's like, but that's part of the patriarch, isn't it? That's part of power. That's like when whatever group has the power is the group that gets to define the terms and who you listen to.
If any men or women think that I have a particular level of insight, especially in the kind of emotional therapeutic world, I'd say the large majority of information I've gathered has come from women. And then like Gabor Mate and actually Alain de Botton.
Yeah.
You know, I think those people have been thrown in there, but other than that, it's like my friend and mentor Donna Lancaster, who I shout out a lot. Only real name I put in my book because I want people to look her up. She's got another worker she works with called Gabby. I read a book by Hilary Jacobs Hendel called "It's Not Always Depression." That talked about the change triangle that saved my life. I had a female therapist for years.
Yeah.
Bell Hooks, Audre Lorde. I'm really into this I'm really into this account at the moment called No Nonsense Spirituality. I'm reading her book at the moment. You know, it's just like I have been lucky, I guess, to not feel like I can't listen to. I was raised, you know, I've raised listening to Nina Simone, great storyteller, Aretha Franklin, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott. Like now I love, you know, as well as Dave, I love Little Sims, I love Joni Mitchell, Fiona Apple. I put her in this little word series I've been doing online.
That Fetch the Bowl Cut was just like,
Fiona Apple's different levels, and this is alongside incredible men. Of course,
do you think that? Because I agree with you.
Yeah,
I've like someone asked me to start a men's group down where I live in Hastings the other day, and I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm uncomfortable with. I haven't quite got the language for it yet.
Right.
But there's something about like spaces where, like you say, I've learned everything good from women. Mm-hmm. Not everything, not exclusively, but like a lot of my lessons have come from women. And there's this kind of, I think we need to learn more from women and like siphoning off these like male areas where you go and beat your chest and like do archery. I don't know if it's like actually as helpful as people think it is. I don't know. I'm working on a...
Have you been in a men's circle?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
You dig it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's case by case, isn't it? I guess it depends on the men in the circle. But...
I don't want to be like absolutist about it. It's just a feeling I had when I was asked.
For me anyway, there was something about the circle itself that felt like it was tapping into something beyond me.
Like primal.
Yeah. And this circle was really revealing because it was basically like a grief circle. So you'd have this congregation of men, some who I'd judged without having spoken to, some I'd spoken to and judged. And the process was basically, you know, step forward if you've lost a pet, you know, and then whoever would step forward if you've lost someone to suicide, step forward if you've lost a parent, step forward if you've lost both parents. And it was fucking wild.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I could look at somebody and think, you know, or again, have even interacted with somebody and thought, this guy's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And then it goes, step forward if you've lost someone to suicide. And then I'm stepping forward with him.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And we're bound by this grief, but we never spoke about it, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe my idea of him has shifted because I didn't have the full context of his behaviour. It doesn't excuse it, but...
See, I believe men are kind and gentle and soft and beautiful.
Yeah.
And have differing thicknesses of armour depending on the trauma they've gone through.
Sure.
Right? So, like, maybe Alain de Botton has got a very, very... a transparent armour suit on, right? Because he's worked to relieve layers. And then maybe like an Andrew Tate has got concrete armour on. But I do think that the core And I believe that the armour is built up from culture. I don't believe it's biological armour, right? In fact, I was listening to this woman whose name escapes me talking on a radio the other day, and she's written a book called Gentle Parenting, or The Gentle Teenager. And she's the mother of 3 boys. And she was saying that there's this like really indisputable evidence now that a baby boy is less likely to be comforted by his mother than a daughter. You know, there's lots of examples of like sons being treated like problems, where a girl would be treated with like love and compassion, and so it starts very early building those layers of like armory on a young man, I think. And it took me to like snap. I felt it snap off a couple of years ago. You know, like I went through so many processes of like living in different countries and like going to see a shaman and all sorts of stuff, like when I live in a monastery, and I just knew I had to do the work to get better after went into the mental health place, and I just knew that I couldn't go back to the way it was. I do see it in men now, and like if you can bypass that armour, there is sweetness and softness and love and generosity and all the things we love about human beings under there, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's obvious, but it's worth saying, you know?
I think when you look at the spaces that men occupy statistically, I think it'd be even intellectually dishonest to conclude that men aren't sensitive.
Yeah.
But addiction being such an issue for men doesn't, for me, sound like people who are not feeling. It's people who are feeling too much and so want to numb, or don't have the tools in which to handle how they're feeling. Suicide, same thing.
Yeah.
Feeling too much, unaware of how to handle those feelings, and unaware that emotion isn't something you can fix. You know, these are elements of, like, if anything, oversensitivity.
For sure.
So I find it so fascinating.
The most interesting stat for me is the one where it's like 80% of the men who do commit suicide don't seek help first. They don't go to the doctors. Like, they would literally rather die than go to therapy. You know, there's a shame in. I
think the first requirement of patriarchy is to detach boys from their bodies and just to live in their heads. And if you're not aware of what you're feeling, if you can't identify depression as a flag rather than as a, you know, something you have to either numb or escape.
That's really interesting.
Then you can't tell, you know, like for me, if I start to feel a bit depressed, I know that it's covering up for a deeper feeling, might be anger, sadness, and then I'll look at my life and the 6 tentpoles that I needed in my life to feel harmonious. That'll be creativity, nature, community and solitude, sleep, nutrition, exercise, right? Normally one of those will be off.
Not a bad gang, that is it.
Yeah, but normally one of those will be off.
Yeah.
And then I can just work on that. But it's only the feeling of depression that let me know something in my environment was off.
Yeah, I get that, yeah. So you're recognising physical flags, and you've worked on emotional awareness enough to know what flags are.
Yeah, you have to notice the patterns. Yeah. And also, the thing I find fascinating about the conversation around men and boys is that the society is built in a way where a small portion of men are given clearer paths towards capitalist success, which I don't think is reflective of human success whatsoever, but it is a success that can be noted, and it can relieve the stress that others would feel. In fact, I'd say the majority of men would feel from the downward force of capitalist patriarchy. So, but it's difficult to empathise with the men and boys because we're constantly having to deal with the damage caused by the men who have been able to co-opt the system. But the thing I find mad about it is, if we were to relay the actions of troubled men to, like, let's say, a rescue dog, like if you went into a shelter and a dog was in a cage, cowering in the back, and you put your hand in to stroke it, and the dog bit your hand, would you say it's the problem that the dog is angry, or is it the problem that the dog's in a cage? And I find it odd that we often talk about men biting people's hands, but we never talk about why they're in a cage.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you watched the Manosphere thing.
Yeah.
But I just saw a lot of caged men.
No, but the concept of masculinity is a cage.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
I find it's like, sometimes when I talk about being a man or capitalism or whatever the fuck, I get pushback from men. I've actually started getting pushback from women too, because there is a kind of anger and resentment towards like showing sometimes empathy towards men, which I kind of understand, but it's tough.
Yeah, I found that as well. Actually, I found that. I was trying to explain the other day. I have a lot of female friends, and I was talking to one about Andrew Tate, and they were just like, "Fuck that guy, guy's a cunt," all the stuff, and of course, that's true to a point. But I also he's made out of pain, right? What I see is pain, and I also see somebody who has succeeded in every measurable metric in the world that you have fed him. He's in that world of UFC, gambling, hookers, coke. He embodies domination, financial domination. He embodies the domination of women. All of the kind of masculine tropes that we are fed. He's succeeded in all of those aspects, right? The problem isn't Tate. The problem is the world in which we've fed him to live in. He lives within patriarchy and capitalism.
Patriarchy. I think for me it's more, there are some women who have been harmed by so many men that they refuse to even engage in for a moment in understanding, like I said, that there is a cage. They'd rather they'd rather say that the dog is fucked and needs to be put down, right? But my thing is I'll get pushback from men when I talk about men or capitalism, because a lot of men kind of identify with capitalism, and the words they use to insult me, I find fascinating, because I don't care about them, because I'm not limited, I don't think, to the same restrictions as they are. So if they call me gay, I don't care, because I love gay people. If they call me feminine, I think I am feminine. The other day I was talking about how before they established homosexuality and heterosexuality as actual identities, there was a much more tactile relationship between male friends, and there's photos to prove it.
Yeah.
And a guy said, in response to me talking about something completely different, I saw this bloke talking about sitting on other men's laps the other day. Someone put it, actually in this book, the No Nonsense Spirituality woman spoke about a fear of freedom as one of maybe a Buddhist principle or something, I don't know. But I just feel that with men so much. They're terrified of standing out, terrified of wearing a colour. I mean, ironically, I'm in quite muted colours today.
Yeah, I'm wearing black, but there we go.
But we're terrified of wearing colours that stand out, doing things that stand out, having opinions that stand out. All they want to do is blend in,
not
conform,
get noticed, not get beaten up.
be submissive. Yeah, it's really monotone. And in the animal kingdom, I guess there's some animals where one gender is really bland and the other one has loads of colour, and it's part of literally that's why I call it peacocking, right? But it's limiting is my main point, and it's limiting at the expense of the well-being of the majority of men. Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be killing themselves or
in turn
hitting the
women,
rates of addiction. Yeah, of course. But it's important to note that for a system that we're told as men or we're told as humans, for a system that's supposedly wired to systematically advantage men, it's doing really badly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now in the West, I think people are spiritually barren. They're absolutely empty.
I totally agree, yeah.
So it's great, you can, technically, materially, we're living to a level unimaginable to people 100 years ago. In this world, millionaires and billionaires get to a point where they go back to the rainforest.
Yeah, man.
You get to the top of the shit, and they go, I need to do an ayahuasca trip. And you're going, I thought those were the savages. I thought they were the ones who were uncivil, and now you're asking them for guidance.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I went to live in the East, and it was eye-opening, to say the least. Seeing how people.
I'm going back to Sri Lanka next month.
Are you? Yeah. I lived in Vietnam for 4 months and went to a monastery, lived with monks. The relationship to faith and the relationship to, I don't have faith myself. Well, no, that's not the right word.
Agnostic.
I do have
spiritual.
I do have faith in more than in the collective unconscious, in the
that's God, isn't it?
Spirit, right? And I can feel it when I write a song. I know I'm writing from spirit. Do you know what I mean? But I don't have a word for it. I don't have a religion or whatever. But being around people who do, it fosters such peace within them that I don't see in, Western people at all. And including, like, obviously the billionaires. I don't see that in Bill Gates. I don't see that in Elon Musk. Quite the opposite. There's like a spiritual numbness and a lack of self-generosity that comes with cutting that side of you down.
Yeah, I mean, you have to part with being human to be a billionaire, because you're only a billionaire because thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people have been exploited.
You can't do it without crushing people.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
So you have to live with that every morning. You've got to find ways to make that seem okay.
Yeah, and I suppose that the easiest way to do that is to shut down. I watched that Murdoch thing the other day. He's a bad dude.
Yeah. Seriously
bad dude. I mean, I know that's not a.
It's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take. I don't think that's going to go viral, but. But yeah, it blew me away because I didn't really consider that. It's just him. It's all him. All of it.
Fox, Sky.
Yeah. He's a kingmaker, man. He put everyone in power. He just does what he wants.
Yeah.
Every English
they cut the deal.
Every English speaking country is just like chooses who's going to be in charge. Wild business. So you're obviously you live an emotional life, and you fostered that in yourself.
Yeah, I learned how to feel.
I have this experience where I thought about like. So I was like, my emotional landscape is quite open, right? I have a certain amount of vulnerability that I'm super comfortable with, and my feelings are like fine with me. And then where I live in Hastings, there's a girl called Anna Maria, and she did this film called Black Joy, I think, or Exploring Black Joy, something like that. And it blew me away. It was amazing. It made me start thinking about joy. And just to be clear, I'm not comparing the black predicament to the male predicament, obviously, but it did make me think about joy and why we would suppress joy, right? And then I realised I had this really interesting memory that I'm really comfortable with depression, because I talked about it a lot. I'm really comfortable with sadness. I'm really comfortable with like those emotions, right? But joy fucks me, man. Like I have this memory of when I used to play football in Haggerston. I would be nervous. I was a striker, so I scored goals, and I would be nervous before the game, specifically about what to do if I scored. Yeah. How to express joy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, so much so that I would like I'd worry about scoring. And if I had a penalty, it would cross my mind to miss it. There's a shame attached to an explosive joy, which I think is interesting, and I think I see that in other men.
Yeah.
Feeling.
That's interesting.
You know?
I mean, joy is a core emotion.
Yeah.
You know, it's a core. I wouldn't say depression is a core emotion. That's not what I believe. I think sadness, anger, but yeah, I think that's the cost. That's the price of avoiding sadness and anger, is that you cut off the same channel to feel joy. Yeah. You know.
I mean, I don't feel that now, but it's just a memory from like
but that my 20s.
The balance,
I was like, isn't it?
I was like, joy, God, I can't have to be joyful in front of men because I'm playing football with men.
In front of men. I mean, you know what I did was just thinking as you're talking. The most likely I would feel triggered would be more in person, like a physical confrontation could. Yeah. Because I have this weird thing. A lot of my issues around addiction were to do with I would like take anger out on myself rather than other people, and I think that being physically confronted by another man would.
Like as in violence?
Yeah. The last time I had a trauma response was because of an abandonment wound. And I don't think that's really gender exclusive. I think if someone was close to me and then I say something and then I worry that they're going to disappear out of my life, that I live with all the time. But that's not like exclusive to men. It's anyone I love, basically. Yeah. I did, weirdly, when I came back from Thailand, end up in this bizarre altercation with a man, and I'd literally just been doing like 5 days of Muay Thai, like straight.
So you're like...
So I was kind of like... I definitely didn't start the confrontation. So I was like a little bit like, wow, I could really actually do this. I wasn't like...
I could actually like...
and fortunately I didn't. This is the interesting point. If I had done, I would have been in trouble because I was in a different country. and this guy was, he was white, and I just think in that context it could have got tricky for me. But what was interesting was, like, I don't know if I felt triggered. I felt like stimulated, but I think what's interesting as a conversation is, that's a very real aspect of life for men and women that I personally don't think will ever go. I never, in all my psychedelic trips or my therapy, I really struggle with the concept of pacifism, or my mum and I argue about this all the time, because she comes from like a Native American standpoint, or she would say first tribe standpoint now, of peaceful protests. I do think that has a place, but I really struggle to talk about. I just don't think anyone in the West can say they're pacifist. We live, all of these walls are dripping with blood, like everything, my phone, everything is because of violence. And I think the issue isn't violence, the issue is the values that we have around it, honor, respect, surrender. One of the things I think is really sad, again, part of the man cage, is the idea that you can lose a fight and hold your head high. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's honor in that. If you head into that interaction,
You were saying, just before you were saying something that made me think about words, and you were saying about like fighting, toxic masculinity in inverted commas, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's something interesting in what we describe as toxic masculinity, right? In that there is like an addictive nature to it, and it's in the word, like toxic is in the word like intoxicating. I think it's like
that's really cool, to be like intoxicating masculinity.
Yeah. And it's that,
I like that.
Because I get that feeling when I was a kid and I was in a fight. It's like, it was like drugs, man.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. It's like, I think there is
intoxicating masculinity. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm taking that.
You can have that, man. I mean, no one's going to watch this.
Intoxicating masculinity is a real cool flip on it. You're using it to escape.
Yeah, you're using it as as you would use coke, or you would use like smack. It's like, it's a way of making you okay with it.
I love this. I'm doing a TikTok about this tonight.
You're welcome.
Do you want me to credit you? Did you say it, or did you say something and then I added on to it? Be honest. Be honest, had you actually thought of the phrase intoxicating masculinity?
No.
But you had thought of the you had tied toxic into intoxicating.
But so what we'll go 50-50 on the publishing. 60-40 at push.
Yeah. I'll plug your album.
Thanks.
But sorry, intoxicating masculinity. Yeah, so it was reminding you of the rush you would feel getting into fights, and then obviously drugs, etc. And it's all included in it, which is interesting as a creative, because that's one of the things that's part of the cage for me, was the idea of like destruction and creativity.
Because it is Moorish, man. It's Moorish.
Yeah.
That kind of like sleeping with women you don't care about, doing drugs, like getting in fights, calling someone a cunt, like getting a cab, running away. That is very, very Moorish behaviour. People.
Do you think men are addicted to men?
I don't know. Men addicted to men.
Because I don't think I'm seeking male approval. It's not an active part of my life. I don't think like... And actually, it was really odd. I was going to do a TikTok about this the other day. There was a point where I thought, okay, I've learned so much about boys and men statistically and research-wise, and I'm getting loads of messages relative to my audience from boys and men who have read my book and they feel like seen and heard and whatever else. And I went, okay, how do I reach the guys who won't necessarily come to my book or might be put off by my various stances?
That's very much my struggle with my very difficult
album. I actively began to make choices to try and reach out. And what's so weird is all of those choices were just ended up limiting who I was.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, do I wear a nose stud? Like, what colours am I wearing to this podcast? How shall I phrase this thing? Do I hide that I'm pro-trans, that I'm pro-gay? Like, do I just bench it for a sec? Fuck that shit. Like, instead I'm like, no, it's not my responsibility to morph. In my comments, if I say a thing and it's just bare women, I've had guys go in there and go, only women in these comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boss, what are you trying to achieve in life? Yeah. Like, what does that mean? You only believe something because you've seen that men like it.
Yeah, and name me one thing that exclusively men like that isn't
Yorkies.
dog shit. Do you remember that?
It's not for girls.
It's not for girls. That wasn't that long ago.
20 years ago.
I'm old.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
But yeah.
you're right. There's nothing that exclusive. I mean,
think about anything that's exclusive to men, and it is going to be dry as a fucking bone. Do you know what I mean? Monster
Straight
trucks. Men. Yeah.
Because gay men, listen, there's one thing that I wish, this is not part of the cage, bro. Is like, my favourite thing about having gay friends and queer friends and trans friends is their parties are lit, bro.
Amazing. Yeah.
Those spaces are sick. Yeah, man, I can't explain it. There's just a freedom. There's like an ease sometimes. Not all the time.
Yeah. No, of course not.
But then there's the posturing vibe. You know, where like you get to some spaces and there's like an energy of like, there's a tense.
Yeah.
I was in a sauna the other day, and there were two men, and the guy was saying, he said, I was at this bar the other day for about half an hour, me and my friends. We were like, this bar is fucking vibey, mate. The vibe was nice, it was cool, it was chill, and we're having a good time. Someone comes over and says it's a gay bar, and they're like, oh man, crazy. And he's like, no, but listen, I like the vibes in the gay bar because I didn't feel tense, I didn't feel like there was something in the air. Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, no, I get it, but like, obviously there's... Anyway. And then I kind of like let it ride out for a bit. And then I went, he's right, like, gay bars are great. And they were like, yeah, no, we get it. And then I said, ironically, when I've gone out to these gay bars to have fun, if there are straight women there, they're relaxed.
Yeah.
And you see what a party could be like.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I said this to the guy, and he went, this is what blew my mind. The guy went, yeah, but the thing is, I hear it, but I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about the fact that I'm being sexualized. Okay, there's two things going on there. Firstly, there's a hilarious trope that straight men seem to believe that all gay men want to fuck them, which is hilarious. Secondly, I said to him, boss, that is what women feel at the straight parties. What you would experience, just for clarification, the reason why you'd be anxious about going to a gay bar is what you expect a woman to experience going to a straight bar.
Yeah, that's like your parameters.
That's the parameters for it. It's I will be standing on a wall. I'll be leaning against the wall, sexualizing you. Mental. So I do get it. Maybe a rite of passage for young men should be going to a bar full of gay UFC fighters.
Yeah, man. That is the thing.
Just to get a good idea of consent.
Yeah. I got some like beefy gay dudes on my algorithm. Like there's this like really provocative, I don't know how I got in there, but I don't know how I got in there. No,
I only Googled gay porn like 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times, 5 times. It's really confronting. I'm from Southeast London, right? Yeah. Like it's confronting to me. And I grew up in a homophobic culture. Yeah. And a racist culture and a misogynistic culture.
We're still in it.
Yeah, we're still in it, and we've all internalized it.
It's funny because they all go, oh, gays, you know what I mean? Like LGBTQ, it's transforming the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, firstly, if anyone was going to be gay, it'd be me. If gayness could transform a child, I'd be gay, mate. I was around so many gays when I was a kid. I actually believe everyone's fluid. I just think people are born essentially with the freedom to do what the fuck they want.
It's only my conditioning that's in the way
of course. Everyone.
Like, every girl I know can kiss a girl and not feel what I would feel if I kissed a boy. I have no idea, like, how fluid I am.
But
because I went through that, like, I went to school with fucking Stephen Lawrence's killers. I went to, like, do you know what I mean? Same school.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it's fucked. They were, like, obviously a lot older, but they were in my...
Now.
Yeah, they're bad dudes. They were bad dudes. But I remember them. I remember, like... I went to school in that kind of culture, so you can imagine what comes with that.
Yeah, it's pressure, shame. Yeah, like, but they say that, make it out like we have this fucking mad sexual revolution awakening because we got like fucking gay pride flags. There's not a single openly gay professional footballer.
Crazy, man. Do you think that there are no?
No, there are loads.
No, but bear with me. Do you think that the process of being 14, scooped up, put into that ultra masculine society, like that is football, do you think that pushes gay teenagers out? Therefore, maybe they're like
they have to
pushed to the fringes, or they leave that and like move into something that's more inviting. I don't know. Like if I was around somewhere where I had to hide who I was, I'd probably just go and do fucking musical theatre. Personally,
there's definitely gay footballers. Not one in history.
It's crazy.
History, bro. So we're not even talking about like the current fucking 12,000 that are playing.
And
It's
in
like
the world as
more.
well.
Yeah, I mean, there's one there's a couple. It's like a rugby dude. That I think there's one Australian guy as a referee. He got given death threats. Like I just think like there's a perceived idea of the world, and then there's the reality of the structure.
It's so
behind
interesting, man. It's
and
so
like,
interesting.
and there was that time where like a Spanish footballer pretended to be gay on Twitter.
It was,
and then switched back 30 minutes later.
I
And that
remember.
30 minutes was one of the best, most incredible revolutionary minutes.
I felt joy, right?
Yeah.
It was PK, wasn't it?
I was PK.
It was
One of
PK
those
and
cunts.
Ramos, and they did this.
Pricks.
What I know is a super homophobic joke, right, on someone.
So dumb.
Going on Twitter and going like we're like it's like
So stupid.
It's like 12-year-old boy bullshit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
it's
anyway.
crazy, but like I remember being like lit up by that. I was like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it'll literally change the game forever.
Yeah.
It's like when Frank Ocean came out. That was one of the best things ever to watch ever.
He's the coolest motherfucker, man. Those records.
But it was like, you know, especially in the black community, there's like other historical reasons as to why homophobia has another level to it. And, you know, but it was just funny seeing a lot of people drop their ideas. I mean, it's such a fragile concept. Like, homophobia to me is like, it's so delusional.
It's beautiful
And
seeing that for me,
it's-
like seeing like
people accept it.
seeing like specifically black culture because of where I grew up and how I grew up, just being around that. It's like seeing Tyler the Creator and seeing Frank Ocean talking this stuff.
Tyler's got a complex one,
But he has been.
But
super
yeah, I
homophobic.
love how he challenges it. Yeah, at the very least, challenges
and he
it.
plays with it, and I've never seen that.
Yeah. But these guys have got like gay kids, trans kids.
Yeah, man.
Like it's the game's changed. But it's just people need to just anyway.
That's beautiful for me.
But I just it just reminds me how the reason why it'd be so powerful having a gay footballer is because if they were a fucking baller, you see how quickly people can just park their shit. Like the maddest thing about personalities, is that like a personality is lit unless I'm wrong.
He's make it up.
It's a story that you tell yourself again and again until you've forgotten that you're the one who told yourself in the first place.
Yeah.
And so most of the time, like 80%, other than, you know, physical things or legit allergies or whatever, I feel like 70% of this shit is just like, I could, if I want, just tell myself a different story. And I find it so true that football was a really fascinating expose of like what our stances in life really mean. Like what does it really mean? Like you can have people who are Islamophobic until a Muslim scores.
Yeah.
Or they'll be homophobic until a gay guy scores. They'll be racist until a black guy scores.
It's also a crazy. I was thinking about this the other day. That it's a crazy. Like I support Manchester United. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But like
At the moment, it's
getting there. But my point is that I started supporting Man United when Eric Cantona was playing. And like,
Eric Cantona, a legend.
Yeah, he's like my guy.
Yeah.
In fact, I started supporting them because of that kick.
Yeah.
I was like, that's like the most
cool.
righteous violence I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that nothing about Manchester United in 1990 is in any way the same now, right? Like it's not
other than the badge,
it's not the same
the name.
people. It's not. They've got the kit's not the same. It's not the same manager. Not the same owners. The idea that I support this. Oh, what is it? It's a concept. It's an idea. It's an idea of Manchester United.
I've been asking my friends this all the time. Like, what would it take to not support them? Like, what? I'm an Arsenal fan. Yeah. There are some things that have happened internally at Arsenal that do not align with me politically, right?
Being a socialist and a Premier League football fan just does not live together.
Right. So the question is, like, at what point am I willing? The irony for me is this is the best chance we've had in 20 odd years of winning the Premier League, and it's the first year I've considered not supporting them anymore because they've made too many decisions that I think are questionable. But when I ask my friends, it just confirms the idea that it really is a religion. It's like when I question the idea of Arsenal, it's like I'm questioning God. It's like I'm saying, you know, you talk to somebody who is of faith or they're a believer, and you go, well, if God was about during slavery, what's going on there then? Yeah. What was he up to when all of our ancestors were getting brutalised and hung from trees and fucking castrated? Like, what was he up to? Chilling. And then they'll be like, life is a test. It's like, that's crazy, bro. If it turned out that like Arsene Wenger, right?
Yeah.
And the Cronkies all came up on the Epstein files, the next batch.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're still supporting Arsenal?
Bear in mind, my club's owned by Jim Ratcliffe.
Yeah, mad.
And I'm still going, Fernandez, fucking get in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
So the woman who accused Thomas Partey of rape.
Yeah.
Obviously, I need to cover myself up. I can't comment on like an ongoing case or whatever, but I do remember her last tweet before she came offline. And she said, you lot would support Hitler if he had a sick left foot.
Oh, that's a great tweet, isn't
Last tweet, gone.
Yeah.
And it's deep because, like, you know,
there's no way Hitler had a sweet left foot.
We only had one ball for a start. Anyway.
You know why you get a yellow card if you take your shirt off after you score?
Why?
Because that's the moment, that's going to go on the back pages and you are taking off your sponsor.
No.
Yeah, apparently.
I
heard that.
That's a lie.
Well, it's not a lie, but it might be wrong. But have a look.
I think it's crazy.
Because otherwise, why would you be... I think it's the sponsor, that's their moment. And you're taking their moment away from them.
They've put it down as an excessive celebration, but I'm a conspiratorial guy, and I think there's an undertone to that.
How long have you been in your thing for?
5.5 years.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Long time, innit?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was just wanting to, commitment's nice, love's nice.
I now am drawn to people who slow my nervous system down rather than speed it up. I don't want to be around
that with my partner.
I like peace. I'm trying to cultivate peace. There's a really moving bit of your book, actually, where you talk about, what's that rhyme, like what boys are. They're like,
oh, frog snails, puppy dog tails.
Puppy dog tails.
Yeah,
and you talk about how
boys are beautiful.
Boys are beautiful, man. And I was like, because it's within a lot.
No, everyone listen, it's in our conscience. That's what I'm saying about patriarchy, bro. Like it plants the idea.
I was just reading it and I was like, yeah, exactly. And there's this idea that men are born a problem and need to be fixed, and women are born nice and sweet, right? And like
sugar, spice, all things nice.
Yeah, it's like it's built into our like ways of thinking about gender and our ways of thinking about people.
Yeah,
and it's super interesting. And what's interesting is it like made me feel there's so much in your book that is like powerful, like and moving, right? Mm-hmm. But none of it made my eyes sting, like just the sentence that boys are beautiful, right?
Yeah, I know.
There's this idea that, like, I forget that. Like
in a natural, I think my point was in like a
natural state.
In the same way as when you look at the horizon or if you see a cool cloud, like boys and men are like that.
Yeah.
I've got a hot take.
Hit me.
So I don't think I agree with the sentiment behind the male loneliness epidemic. Right? I get asked about it a lot, and I don't have like a conclusive answer. The most I can come out with is that I think there's a loneliness epidemic, and men are the ones are finding it harder to cope because we haven't got the safety net of like an idea of how to socialize. Like there is a gendered idea of what's comfortable socially.
Yeah, like an emotional vulnerability.
Yeah. So that's what's coming out as that, right? But also, I feel there's like a friction in the transition we're going through in terms of like gender roles in society. And I wonder if, because the consequence of our actions, the accountability required from men now is shifting, right? Like what is okay socially or okay sexually or okay romantically now is very different to what it was even 10 years ago. Yeah. And so I think that some of that loneliness is because the pruning of our identities, right? Like the gardening of the weeds that we have grown to become part of, right? Like literally, even in my own psyche from when I was younger, like thinking about things I would think and do that at the time were okay. It's such a disgusting process. It's like cleaning a toilet gross, right? That I think we know. This is just a speculation, but I feel like a lot of men know that if we were to be honest about what it was we were letting go of, or what it was that made us feel sick, the fear of rejection and abandonment from the greater society or women or whatever is so intense that we feel alone. I think it's Carl Jung who describes loneliness as like not a physical loneliness, but a fear of... Oh, wait, I've got to find this. Hold on. I'll find the quote.
Yeah, go ahead. I sense that. I sense
Do you know
that
what I
in
mean?
culture.
Because it's
like
gross.
a spiritual loneliness.
Yes, it's like because I think that like being a man at times can be fucking gross. But look here, Carl Jung said, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. Loneliness is rarely about empty rooms. It's about carrying words you cannot say and truths you do not feel safe to share. Healing is learning to speak what matters most, so you're no longer alone with it. This is the work of letting yourself be seen and known for who you really are. My theory,
Beautiful, man.
my theory
Yeah.
is that the real burning in the transition is, I think there's like there's a male consciousness that fears the immediate response to like how fucked our psyche has really become from capitalist patriarchy. like really, like.
I think so too.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And that immediate disgust or whatever feeling we do not control.
Like I knew that to get well, I had to get ill.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I had to break to become better.
Yeah.
Because I knew that if I just got back, I would just get back to where I was before.
Yeah.
I just get that far. I had to like fall apart.
Yeah.
To get that far.
Yeah.
You know?
Facts.
And I think that that's like true of, I think men who have had a nervous breakdown are fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Yeah.
And I think it's a way of breaking out of a cage, and I think
Definitely.
and I think that it's very like,
it connects you, bro. It connects you to more of the world.
and you're more in touch with your body, you're more in touch with your
Do you remember that,
psyche.
do you remember that bit in the book where like after the breakup I went through, the first thing I remember was feeling my toes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally can't remember the last time I felt my
Yeah.
toes.
It's so true. Like you go through that like pain, and it rebalances your like I'm so much more balanced.
Yeah,
now.
like a cold plunge.
Running on unconscious levels of pain and like just regurgitated trauma and like layers of culture that I've just ingested, like without consent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
breaking that off of me
Yeah.
was an incredibly powerful experience.
Yes. I really think that men are intoxicated by masculinity, man. They need to start their recovery programs.
It's like an addiction. It's an AA.
MA.
MA, yeah. Yeah.
Man Anonymous.
Masculinity Anonymous.
Masculinity, no, toxic, it has to be TMA.
Isn't that too much
because masculinity
information?
is a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Masculinity is a vibe, really.
Yeah, I mean, when these cameras go off, we're going to be
Yeah.
doing all
Fighting.
sorts. What's that?
Fighting.
Fighting. yeah.
Wrestling. Should be more wrestling.
Definitely not fucking.
Should definitely be more wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a form of fucking. Not all fucking has to be penetration, you know.
I have heard that.
Also, the word fucking, I was thinking about this, it's another thing I'm thinking about touch,
Yeah.
is just like all the words we have for sex in
Violence.
male land is fucking rough, bro. Bang, fuck, chop,
Smash.
smash. Like it's like
It's fucked up.
Anyone want to calm down? Make love. Bring that back. Bring back making love. Make love again.
Make
love.
sex love again.
Make sex love again. Make slogans less like Trump again. Apparently you stole that off Reagan, you know. How do you feel about this conversation? How do you rate it out of 10?
Yeah, before you go, what's your favourite animal? Quick, now.
Fox. I know this already though. It's independent, smart. And I did used to say cunning, and that is who I look for in a partner.
That's great.
What was yours?
When in the book, I was like, I went straight to lion.
Did you?
And I was like powerful, like...
lion as a shout for a partner is amazing.
Yeah, it was like powerful, but it was also, there's like mournful nature to a lion. It's
What,
like...
just melancholy, like casual
It's got, because it has got a melancholic vibe, right?
Yeah.
There's like a thoughtful kind of acceptance of loneliness and like, I don't know, there's something in a lion. There's like a depth.
Lion's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I say what my mum said in the book?
Go on.
Did I say that?
I don't think so.
My mum's like not really had a serious. I'm just mummy saying this, but my mum's not had a serious relationship like my whole life. And when I learned about the animal thing, I was going around asking everybody. I asked my mum, she was like giraffe, and I was like, okay, 3 reasons.
Loves a neck, your mum.
3 reasons. She goes, great long necks, and she went, they're so weird and unusual and hard to find. And I was like, this is literally why you're single. There are no giraffes. There aren't any giraffes, mum. You're gonna have to just say dog.
Just be a cat.
Have you ever seen a giraffe?
They're nuts.
Mad thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a giraffe's good name for this episode if you do put it out?
Yeah, episode of what? But yeah, I don't know what we're doing really, but it's been fun, man, really fun. Thanks for coming and meeting me.
Love, bro.
Yeah, man.
Everythinglessness.